Scribes are claiming that the Dodgers offseason is coming into focus. No, it's not. UCLA starting quarterback cannot walk right, and a former Angel City FC player says hi, Nazi style. Good morning, I'm James. This is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the faithful Angelenos morning report. Now it is November 9th, 2023. I must admit it's somewhat of an awkward day because we have to mix in a little bit of politics with this. But we added a new subscriber to the Angeleno Familia yesterday, and that always lifts up my spirits. Thank you for getting in on the ground floor. We're going to try to keep you informed about LA. And if you like being in the know about LA, clickety-clack the like button. Clickety-clack the subscribe button. There's a notification bell. Hit that. It'll let you know when we drop new content. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist, and by all means comment, because it's always good when you're talking LA. So before we go through the news and notes, a look at the scoreboard. Guys, let's all start off with a nice slow clap for Dylan Brooks. It was about time. At some point in his life, he was actually going to get a victory. Well done, Dylan. Never mind that the Lakers didn't have Anthony Davis. Never mind that the Lakers didn't even have 4 of their regulars. No, Houston 128, Lakers 94. Big whoop, slowest of claps, the slowest. Rui Hachimura led LA with 24 points in his return from injury, and the Scribes got a chance to hype up their panic porn over the Lakers. Meanwhile, those of us who do not suffer from short attention spans remember that the Lakers started last year 0-5. So there's that. Relax, guys. Relax. Paul George scored 24 points as the Clippers fell to 0-2 in the James Harden era with a 193 loss to Brooklyn. Look, I've never been optimistic about the James Harden trade, but I'm not going to sit there and say after 2 games, I told you so. That's a little bit ridiculous. Harden did have a bad game. He only scored 12. Russell Westbrook had more points and assists than Harden, for Pete's sake. Meanwhile, Anze Kopitar became only the 4th player in franchise history to score 400 goals, along with Luc Robitaille, Marcel Leon, and Dave Taylor. Rarefied air in Kings franchise history. Kings defeated Vegas 4-1. LA is undefeated in 7 road games. Meanwhile, today, Pittsburgh is at the Kings at 7:30, and Cal State Bakersfield is playing 21st ranked USC basketball tonight at 6. Now, the LA Times is reporting something that we already told you. We'll start off with the Dodgers. That the Dodgers are waiting to see how the Shohei Ohtani market unfolds before making a potential move to bring back designated hitter JD Martinez. I'd love to say I had the inside scoop. No, I just had common sense. That whole thing about not extending Martinez a qualifying offer was done specifically for Ohtani, and also to see if they could get him back at an affordable price if they miss out on Ohtani. And it's kind of crazy because we do this game every offseason, every trade deadline. The Scribes are trying to claim that the Dodgers offseason is coming into focus, and it is anything but clear. That little whiteboard back there that I use right now to tell you what teams I'm going to talk about today, that little whiteboard back there, I used to list all the names of all the names that the Dodgers were allegedly linked to. Oh, the Dodgers really, really want this player. And keep in mind, every year I did it to illustrate a point. It's all crap. The Dodgers are not interested in every player that I'm about to read to you today. They're not at all. I mean, look, agents are notorious for using the Dodgers as leverage to get their clients better contracts. So it doesn't matter whether or not the Dodgers called and inquired about it or made an offer. Agents are trying to get a better deal. So they go back to the team and go, did you hear? Did you hear? The Dodgers want my client. Then they go to the Scribes to try to get a little bit more hype. Did you hear? The Dodgers are going to give my client big bucks. It's all crap. We do know the Dodgers are legitimately interested in Clayton Kershaw. We know this. They said so. We know that they're interested in JD Martinez. We know this. We also know that they're interested in bringing back Jason Hayward. Those three, okay, I'll take that as legit. But the others, varying degrees in terms of whether or not you should buy, whether or not the Dodgers are interested. Ohtani, sure. Here are the other names. We'll find out how interested the Dodgers are in the weeks ahead. Aaron Nola, Blake Snell, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Marcus Stroman, Sonny Gray, Jordan Montgomery, Lucas Giolito, Hyunjin Ryu, Jack Flaherty, Corey Kluber, Seth Lugo, Michael Wacha, and outfielder Toscar Hernandez. Do you really believe the Dodgers are trying to add every one of those guys? Do you really think the Dodgers are backing the Brinks truck up to every one of those guys? I don't. That's about what? That's at least a dozen names that I just threw out at you. Ken Rosenthal, the bow tie scribe, is predicting that Dodgers first base coach Clayton McCullough will be in the mix for the new managerial opening that opened up in Milwaukee when Craig Counsell went from the Brewers to Chicago. Now, McCullough has already been part of 3 job hunts in each of the last 3 years. He was even included in one recently. He interviewed for the Cleveland gig. That went to Stephen Vogt. Kike Hernandez underwent double hernia surgery in October. Double hernia? Like one extra lump down there wasn't enough to make you want to go to the doctor? I mean, I don't know about you fellas, but anytime I look down there and I see more than 2 lumps, I'm like 1, 2, 3, 4. What? 4? I realize some people don't want to go to the doctor, but that lump is a pretty good, especially if you have 2 or 3, in addition to the 2 that you were born with. That's a pretty good reason to go to the doctor, guys. GM Brandon Gomes said Gavin Lux is proceeding nicely in rehab from a surgery that he had from that spring training knee injury. They're optimistic he might be ready for spring training next year. They are also talking about an innings restriction for Walker Buehler next season. Sports Illustrated is reporting that UCLA quarterback Ethan Garbers is not getting any healthier in time for the Bruins' next game against Arizona State. He's still limping. So he's unlikely to go. We still don't even know what the hell's up with Dante Moore and his injury that he had last week in Arizona as well. So is it the Colin Schlee era? You might find this hard to believe, but the Bruins coaching staff is mum about the whole damn thing. But it's not all bleak for the Bruins in terms of quarterbacking. There is a 3-star quarterback from Belair Episcopal in Texas, Carson Gordon. Carson spelled with a K, but okay. He is committed to UCLA. He is the 75th ranked quarterback in the class of 2024. He is the 8th player to commit in that class to UCLA, which is currently ranked 53rd in the nation. Angel City FC has condemned a former player for flashing a Nazi salute at a pro-Israel rally in Beverly Hills. And when reached about it, Stephanie Ferrer Van Ginkel was upset because, you see, the protest slowed her down from getting to the Barnes & Noble at the Grove to pick up a copy of Mein Kampf. Now, look, I realize I'm the fuddy-duddy here, right? I do. I realize that there are fashion changes, there are changes to what's cool in music, what's cool in pop culture. I totally get it. Me, I'll go to an 80s retro night, right? My wife is very lovely. She loves 1970s retro. So I get it. Retro is a thing. But somebody's going to have to fill me in. When did Nazi retro night become a thing, guys? Could somebody spill that out for me? I'm not going to sit there and tell you that I can explain everything about the Middle East process, right? But when did Nazi retro night become a thing? Nobody's letting... How did fashion change that drastically and nobody include the rest of us in, right? It couldn't possibly have been the fashion. It couldn't have possibly been the dancing or the music, But yet all the young women out there are all into Nazi retro. I don't get it. I'm old, I get it. I've seen mullets, I've seen super baggy pants and skinny jeans, the bandana, flannel shirts, popped collars. I've seen white guys with dreadlocks, spray tans, Crocs. I'm completely confused about this trend. What is it about the Nazis that seem cool to the young folks? Can somebody explain that to me? Is it the must? I don't get it. The red armband? And it's got to be fashionable because even soccer chicks are into it. When did Nazi retro become cool? Like one chick is saying to another, you know, that trad wife look is totally demeaning, but you know what's kind of hot? Hitler stashes. What happened, society? What happened? Nazi retro night in Los Angeles. I don't understand. I don't. NBC Sports is reporting that incoming Rams quarterback Carson Wentz will get a prorated veterans minimum plus a signing bonus of about $150,000. Then they asked rhetorically if Wentz is a long-term solution. NBC Sports wants to know if Wentz is long-term. I can help you with that answer. No. Can I paint you a long-term picture, though, of the Rams quarterback situation? Now, obviously, I'm not in the front office, so I can't give you what the actual lowdown is. But if you're looking for something that's common sense, a 3-game losing streak right now for the Rams is bad. They're currently number 6 in the draft order. If they stay in that draft spot, they're in position to land Oregon's Bo Nix. Maybe they get a few more wins, right? That would put them in position to get Michael Penix Jr. of Washington. And then that next year, you have Matthew Stafford tutoring and mentoring said young quarterback to be the quarterback of the future for the Rams. So that might be a bit better option than Carson freaking Wentz. Just saying. USC football co-defensive coordinator Brian Odom echoed some of the thoughts that we were talking about on this channel earlier this week. He told the LA Times, quote, "You're not going to reinvent the wheel in a matter of a week. The goal of this week obviously is to win the game, but also to be able to put our guys in a situation to play fast, for things to be simple for them, and to go make a difference when they're on the field," unquote. So in other words, just because you got rid of Alex Grinch doesn't mean that all of a sudden you're going to see the Trojans play the Bears 46 defense from 1986. It's not happening. Last night marked the 12th game in the King season, but Coach Todd McClellan is noticing that in each visiting town on the now concluded road trip, the Scribes are coming up and asking, quote, "Is that Quentin Byfield's best game yet?" unquote. For example, he had 3 assists in Philadelphia. Quote, "As the season goes on, if we keep saying that, it's a real good sign. It means he's making progress. I think the tenacity that's coming out of him is his biggest strength," unquote. That's what McClellan said to a Kings website. UCLA basketball coach Mick Cronin thinks the sky is the limit for Adam Bona, and in doing so, he cited the name of a recent Bruins legend, which frankly surprised me. His strength is he's a tremendous athlete and as good a competitor that I've ever coached. The difference is he's just a better athlete than Jaime Jaquez Jr. Jaime is the same competitor, but Adam is a world-class athlete. That is what Cronin told the LA Daily News. So again, sky might be the limit for Adam Bona. But you let me know what you think in the comments thread. Talk to me if you think the Dodgers are in fact interested in all of those dozens of players that I listed for you. Tell me what you think UCLA can do with all these injured quarterbacks. And if you enjoyed the content, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We talk LA sports every single day here. Thank you for watching. I'm James. We'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Kian Corte El Queso production. Take care.